This Balu has been bastardized for more than 60 years. And nobody is there to checkmate it. That's what I'm saying. You get me? The Balu is there and nobody is ever ready.
So in every MDA, there's a Safaricom unit.
Are they effective? Forget about all these bureaucrats in Nigeria.
Hold it now, hold it.
These bureaucrats in Nigeria, they are there for their own selfish interest. Everybody knows. Forget about flow you are talking about.
Look at the one that Nigerians like to talk about, but they don't even know the dynamics about it. Football. Are you aware that we don't have a football industry in Nigeria? We only love football, and we invest billions into European clubs buying their jerseys, buying their rubbish things. I'm using that kind of word. You get what I'm saying? The other day on Facebook, I said something. On Facebook. I said we should start a movement that compels Nigeria's 10 richest men to start football clubs. Now, if Dangote or $10 and all these big boys, Jimovia and them can start football clubs, they will begin to hold NFF accountable. All the rubbish games they play there, they will stop it. You can't do those rubbish things anymore because people know how much they have invested into it. If Dangote had a stadium, Jimovia had a stadium, Otero had a stadium, he also had a stadium. They know how much they invest into these things. They know how much they invest in bringing foreign technical advisors. So they will not allow you mess them up. Because this NFF knows that federal government cannot do anything to them. They will use FIFA against you. That's what they've always done. Do you know how much billions of dollars you can generate in football industry in Nigeria? I move around, I see young players.
This one is.
But nobody's talking about it.
This one is only what you said actually is true, but so long as you cannot tackle corruption generally in Nigeria, there's nothing you do today.
What do you call corruption?
In all aspects of Nigerian life, be it in the leadership, politically, religiously, what is fair, what is not fair. Now, this NFA you are talking about, I learned that they said every year FIFA gave them $2 million. You get me? What are they doing with that $2 million? Nothing.
It's about monkeys and snakes.
Eh?
Monkeys and snakes are devouring it.
Yes. You get me? Now, let me tell you.
Every year, every month.
Every year, they gave them $2 million. And I think they said there are a certain amount of money that if you use that one, they will give you that amount of money, but subject to what you do with the money. So, for example, like if they say they are going to give you $10 million, they will not give you, they will give you in installment. You now, maybe if they give you 15% of $10 million now, you now have to justify, for example, now $2 million, what did you do with the money? If there is no, if you cannot justify that, they will not give you the money. So now in Nigeria, now, the only thing that unites Nigerians are football. You get me? Now, if the Nigerian government now wanted to probe this bill, I'm telling you, these people will touch what is even beyond their control. Because in Nigeria, all the sectors, everywhere is scattered. The only thing, they set you up, or if you say you wanted to probe this NFA now, wallahi, if I am a president today, and if I am ready to do timber, even if it will make them ban Nigeria for 20 years, provided we will get it. Because football is the only thing that unites Nigeria. Even if it will take to ban Nigeria for 100 years, let them flush all those guys out. But in Nigeria, you can never, not only in Nigeria, you see this football, that is why the alpha and omega of corruption is.
So Mr. Perry, we've always been talking about you cannot. There are always powerful people in every sector.
Yes.
Does that mean that the president doesn't have this veto power to actually carry out certain things that?
Is he shield from the corruption?
A democratic president is not the same thing as an autocratic head of state. Because they are in the place of rule of law. You get what I'm saying?
You know that
there are things you do today that if you have crazy, excellent, intelligent lawyers, they will bail you out of it. In the democratic system, you get what I'm saying? Because of rule of law. But if it's an autocratic system, you know they are the laws.
You violate the rule, you bend everything, and you get away with it.
So you see, this issue. I asked him a question when you talk about corruption. Because I wanted him to adequately define and interrogate what he means by corruption.
No, you see,
hold me. I have the floor now. I was talking the other day, and there was a civil servant, and she said, "Hey, corruption. They have to start killing people." I said, "It starts with our value systems." One of the research I did, academic research I did, is on respect for human dignity. I was doing a postgraduate program, and I did my research on respect for human dignity. How you run society with respect for human dignity. But the government is premised on that. Until the average Nigerian discovers what human dignity translates to. Because it's easy to blame government, president. When we say government, it's president you're talking about. So everybody can break the rules and nobody gives a damn.
That is it now.
Once
Nobody is there to hold him
once
accountable.
is not president. You get what I'm saying? But because of my knowledge of government and governance, I tell people, look, like when the humanitarian lady did what she did, I was glad that Sarah reporters blew the thing open. Now that is holding that woman accountable.
And up to today, she's the only, mind you, there are other memos, there are other things that follow after that. She was only used as a scapegoat.
Are you aware that the panel that has been set, led by Wale Edu? I ask questions. I don't want this to I read. I find. I don't just talk like that. There's a panel headed by Wale Edu as the head of the economy. And when that panel is done, they will tell you who and who is guilty. But for now, because it's a military, she has to step aside. She was not like she was told to step aside. You understand? That's how the normal setting should be.
You see,
if you can identify the other guys who are corrupt,
yes,
I will hold them accountable. No, that's Tinubu and me. I know you will deal with them because he wants to save his own name. That's why he told, Madam, don't mess my government up. I'm the one Nigerians voted for. If you can get 1, 2, 3, 4 people without having to brand the man like that, I have an issue with just blackmailing somebody like that. Because it's not how I'm wired. That's how
it's a normal way of doing things in Nigeria.
But he said something. Can Tinubu be exempted from this whole corruption?
Okay, look at this one now.
Some people
look at this one. Okay, look at this one. In even this humanitarian scandal as it is now. Now, the interior minister was caught red. He said he resigned.
Because we are hearing also.
No, he is still a shareholder in that company.
Okay.
You get me?
Yes.
He was caught red-handed in that thing. That's why I'm saying, you see, in Nigeria, if you want to be used as a scapegoat, you will be used as a scapegoat and life goes on. That's why I'm telling you, you see in Nigeria, you see as bad as you think Nigerian constitution is, take this Nigerian constitution to where, as you said, a decent people that have moral and whatever, you get me? As bad as you think this Nigerian constitution is, or for example America, if you take it, they will use it effectively. Bring their own to Nigeria, they will abuse and destroy everything. These are the things. It's not as if we don't have the rules.
So what's our problem?
The problem is that you see, Nigeria, if you just, the only thing I will tell you, go and listen to Fela's song. Almost as many as Fela's song you will listen to. The only thing, the way I see it, we have been with this thing since the amalgamation of Nigeria.
But with due respect, you mentioned Fela.
You get me?
Fela does not stand a chance, and I'll tell you why.
No, I am trying to say something. He see all those things. You get me? He saw how incompetent people are in 70s or in 80s, in 60s maybe. Or let me say 70s and 80s. He saw how incompetent people are. He saw who people that are not even merited to be given appointment were given because of the privileges they have. You get me? You get me? He saw all those things and he think about all those things. About how all this Oyinbo them, they will take somebody who is a mediocre. You get me? They will bring him, they will influence, he will go there. See, if you go to all these Chinese, your smartness will determine how you excel in politics. Because they know that you are a smart guy, and if you are there, there is nothing you can do that even if no matter how, because of the love of the country, there is limit to which you can go, they cannot outmaneuver you at the whole stage. But in Nigeria today, you see a mediocrity. It's not as if there are not competent people in Nigeria that build themselves. There are, but they are not even up to like 5%. You get me? The rest of them, everybody makes his own money in the government system. You get the contract, you boycott the system, you do everything, and nobody talk to you. And I'm telling you, this thing is in Nigeria for donkeys of years, even before independence. And nobody, there is what Americans say, don't destroy. Well, they say don't destroy it if it is not done. If it is not broken, don't fix it. You in Nigeria is, I think, the people feel that the system is not, it has not broken to the extent that beyond repair or that thing. So long as the thing is not broken to them, let it continue like that.
Sorry, I like to say something here.
Okay.
You see, if all you do is fix your gaze on the problems, you won't get anything.
So what do we do, Mr. Perry? Because
I'm explaining something. I have the floor. If all you do is fix yourself, fix your gaze on only the problems, you will not get any one thing done. The question is, what is the priority now? Are there critical priorities? Let's tackle the critical priorities and go to the priorities. That's how things are done. You understand? Because maybe it's just the way I'm wired and my worldview. You understand? I believe I rather see the cup as half full than half empty. But because I believe in solution development thinking. The question is, what can be done to solve this? I want to tell you something about football. I don't play football. I don't like football, but I know there's so much to make if we had a football industry, which we don't have. That's the truth. We don't have a football industry.
Do you know about the story of this something you are?
Sorry. I'm not done. You know. So when we now look at this, and then if you want to start looking at some other things, you have institutions in Nigeria that are charging dollars. Private schools charging dollars in Nigeria. I watched an interview early this morning around 4 a.m. I was watching I think this former senator Itai Enang. I know talking
National
about
Assembly.
how in 2012 an hotel in Nigeria was charging him dollars. And he said, look, this is Nigeria, I will not pay you dollars. He said, go to Bureau de Change and go and change it there. In Nigeria, there are private schools, even in Abuja, that give you that you have to pay in dollars.
So where are the monetary agencies?
Listen, if all you do is wait for someone to catch you doing a crime, then you have a problem. Before now, I agree, these things were not being looked into. That's the truth. After Soludo left CBN and Sanusi took over, there was still sanity there. But after these guys left, and then everything just went down. You can see what Emefiele did, who is now acting religious. You get what I'm saying? You can see the mess he led Nigeria into. But Cardoso is now doing things differently. And let's give it, it's not been up to 6 months there. Walesoyinka said something. He said, I don't criticize the government until they have done 1 year. Then I had the moral legitimacy to hold them accountable. But for heaven's sake, this government has not even done 8 months yet. And they're trying to do the best they can. They made a big mess. But they can't talk about it because when you're president, there's so much you can't talk about. Things will go wrong. I give an example of Kano State earlier on. I was excited that Kano State can take that initiative of saying, where are these that are holding things, we're going to hold you and we're going to deal with you. Then I listened to an interview by the Kaduna State government and it's doing so much. Now if all the governors can be doing what they should do, Nigerians will not be complaining like that. The question is, everybody expects the president to solve the problems. Are you aware that when the Southwest did that security architecture, they call it Amotekun? Of course, they fought the battle of their life to get that thing going. But that's why, as we talk now, the safest place in Nigeria is Southwest. If every other geopolitical zone was doing that, it would have been better.
What you are saying is the normal rhetorics. Me, I even thought...
I don't do rhetorics. I don't do rhetorics.
Do you know the reason why I tell you so?
I look at critical reality.
Okay, let's even go by the basic issue. Nigerians, me and you, we are paying for more than 6 months in this country. Life is unbearable. Now, subsidy has been removed for 6 months. This
for more than 6 months.
But when the thing have started already feeling impact, you get me? It is during this administration. Now, you devalue Nigerian naira. At the same time,
they didn't devalue the naira. They unified the foreign exchange market.
When you unified it, what happened between the parallel market? When you unify, you are expected what you are selling from central bank and the parallel market. The difference should not be like that white. You get me? You devalue it. At the end of the day, what happened even during Emefiele, your own even become the worst. Because when these people take over, they met the dollar at 400 and something naira. Then you go to black market, you see it at this thing. You get me? Now you wanted to unify it, thinking that by the time you unify it, since at the time you devalue that naira, the dollar is trading at the black market at 700 and something naira. Because of that, you now say, okay, let me unify the thing, expecting that the thing will be, maybe if you unify the price difference will not be up to like 50 naira. It's not up to 2 weeks, 1 week. Before you know, they still maintain the 700 naira at the CBN. Before you know, this one jumped to 1,000. Before you know, this is where we are now. And you are claiming that you have unified it. Whereas if you go to CBN now, you see it at 900 naira. Then at the parallel market, you see it at 500 naira. Number one. Secondly, 500
or above.
Or above. I just give an estimate. You get me? Me, I want to discuss intellectually. Number one. Secondly, you now remove subsidy. You get me? There is no way. It is only a strong nation that they can boast. They have money in their own foreign reserve. There is this scandal we were reading between Goldman and JP Morgan, I think. They said they rent because CBN were running helter-skelter during Buhari time. They were the one that even borrowed them over $15 billion in order to they put the money into CBN for them to now start easing the pressure and whatever. You are in critical, you know everything about that. At the same time, you don't have the money, you devalue, you now claim you harmonize, and at the end of the day, you cannot even control it. People are paying for that. What about the subsidy we are paying in billions of naira? What did we do with that? Since that 6 months, nobody ever came out and tell Nigeria. The only thing this man do is to increase like maybe 2 billion, 3 billion naira to the state government. How about, calm down. How about, because you claim maybe we spend like over like 500 billion, I don't know the exact amount, in every day. Billion. We spend like maybe like 100 billion. Maybe every day.
So every month about 400 and something billion.
400 and something billion. Thank you. Okay, look at the argument now. Every month we spend about 400 and something billion.
Which we borrow. We're borrowing to spend it.
Tell Nigerians.
Nothing we had it.
Wait.
We're borrowing
all I am saying, but all I am saying.
At interest rate.
All I am saying, people are paying for it. Nobody ever came out to tell Nigeria, fellow Nigerians, thank you for the what you do. You get me? Fellow Nigerians, okay, we've removed this subsidy. This is the amount of money we did. The previous administration borrowed also amount of money doing this, and we are paying at interest. We are doing that. You get me? In order to be transparent, for more than 6 months, you have never come out for one day to tell Nigerians what you do with the money. Apart from even the 35,000 naira you claim to pay the civil servant, which me and you, if you are not under the civil servant, you are not directly even benefiting from. You get me? It's maybe like 2 billion naira you give to the. What about the other money? What are you doing?
You know I said something about Sodo earlier on. I said when I was to do the bank consolidation, it was a wonderful idea, but a lot of people were fighting, but they were using the media to fight it. And the challenge he had, he was not talking about what he was doing. That's the challenge that many people at that level have. There's no understand the impact and the implications of always explaining this thing, breaking it up for people to understand.
Simple thing.
That's the thing.
For more than 8 months.
It helps people to accept
for
what
more than 8 months. Let us not be critical. For more than 8 months.
I'm not done.
This government.
I have the floor now.
This government have removed subsidy.
You see, I will still say what I've said all this while, that I look at things from a positive perspective. I'm not talking because I've made some money from government. I'm not wired like that. I love Nigeria so much. When I was much younger and I had an opportunity of getting a non-collateral loan from a bank, I turned it down because I knew it was corruption. And it's verifiable. You get what I'm saying? And I've done so many. When I was on the presidential committee, I even did a minority report that was pro-Nigeria because of how I'm wired. We don't have any other country to run through. Is it Ghana that they're already making fun of you? Or South Africa that they're calling generator country? You get what I'm saying? The idea is for us to sit down in our country and say, how can we solve this problem? This gray on my head is not suffering. I'm over 50. You get what I'm saying? So I can't be talking
like... even plenty past your own and you see
I'm older than you. You get what I'm saying?
My own even plenty past your own.
I'm older than you. So when I was in my 30s, I could talk with emotion. But now I'm more concerned about how do I have a long-term impact? How can we get to a level where Nigeria is competing with US, with Japan, with Germany? And if you don't do something now, you will never get it right. Because let's say the generation that came before us failed.
With this ringing election,
hold the issue of even in America they rig elections. They rig elections everywhere.
Are they doing it blatantly like that?
Now you people say they ring.
They rig elections everywhere. If you read widely, you know, but I don't get into that argument. No. I'm not here to argue with you. Singapore, you know about Singapore. When this man, when Lee Kuan Yew became head of the government, he said when he started the reforms, people were angry with him and they were calling him all kinds of names. But eventually, when the results started showing forth, he became hero. Things in management. There's what we call pragmatic.
In all those people, no,
I have the floor.
It's a simple question. You are trying to justify wrong and wrong.
You can't question. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you. If you understand management very well, what I'm into organizational leadership and transformation. If you understand leadership very well, there are times you will take decisive, pragmatic decisions.
Which one did they take now?
That will pain you, your soul.
Which one did they take now?
You understand? The subsidy removal is actually deregulation.
Which one did they take?
It's what we should have done a long time ago that was not done. You understand? And when you look at it, we have more gas than petroleum. So why are we not plan for gas before now? I told you last time.
So is the current government, are they planning for that? Because earlier they said they were going to do this carbon natural gas compressor,
No,
whatever.
they're still on.
But
Bro, I said
this
something.
is the challenge they have. Is that they're not,
just hold on, just hold on. You wrap
the
up.
challenge they have in government and the critical issue in Africa, they don't know how to explain the critical issues that is involved. So, and as long as people don't have enough information, they will create their own information. They will generate it.
My brother,
Yes, sir.
let me.
The average Nigerian does not listen to radio. He does not read papers. He listens to gossip. Social media fake lies. He watches me, listens to music, watches video and see world. But when we were children, we read papers. As far as when I was in primary 4, I was reading newspapers. And now I'm still reading newspapers. Because you learn every day. If you don't want to learn, I mean, you become a burden on society. It's not enough to say, I went to school, I have a certificate. No, you must continually learn. They don't even continuing education. So until we get to a level where we begin to appreciate information, like when people say education is a scam, education is not scam. The people that rule the world are educated.
Oh.
So I don't want to get into emotional.
Okay, so let's just wrap up this conversation. But I think this current government is open to suggestion from people.
There is nothing like so. Bro, I've told you something. This government is not as if they are here to do. Do you know, I only have sympathy for this one for one thing. It will be a kind of, if I said, they will say it's a hatred, but let it be like that. The only like kind of sympathy I have is, so long as this man will even deal with the people that think they own Nigeria, me, I'm pleased with them. Maybe after him, if another man come not from them and continue along that way, maybe they will now come down and say, okay, let us come together now and think and reason together and see how.
But I think they are open for suggestions.
No, if they are open, if they are open,
the protest that they did,
you get me. If they are open, let me tell you. If care is not taken,
and these people came back and say it's a paid protest. Nigeria is not
whichever way it is, because they are out of. You get me? They are short of word. And see, when Buhari came, go and check is there. He was advised to do what Tinubu do. You can only do what this man do. At the end, I always say, they will say, you are this, you are that, you are this, you are that. An accountant is an empty barrel where economist is. Any small time, they will tell you that it's an accountant, it's an accountant. So what? What is accountant? See, as dumb as Buhari is, when they sell the idea of devaluing Nigerian naira by 100%, he turned it down. Because if you hear China today, devalue their naira, devalue their currency there, it is because the supply of labor there, they have everything there. You get me? Everything. Look at Nigeria now against dollar. If to say we have the supply here now, the supply of labor now in Nigeria, we do everything, we export. People, you can see Ghana because we export and we earn. But the reason here in Nigeria, Nigeria is already a dollarized economy, and you still devalue. And if you go to the basic economics, you get me, it's always there.
So quickly, let
me tell you one thing. Let me just tell you one thing. Let us not go there. So, in my own opinion, these people can do the worse than what even Buhari do. In fact, they are even taking us worse than what Buhari do. It's as simple.
Okay, so what in less than 30 seconds, what do you think is the solution?
The solution, there is no one single leader in Nigeria that did not know the solution. The solution is that, for example, stop all this media probing whatever. Dangote is there. You know what these people do. If you can even extend this into Jonathan administration, the way these people will be allocating dollar, you get me? Once you allocate $1, you now, in the name of maybe you wanted to go and buy this thing from this thing, before you know, you now take it to the black market. This is what these people have been doing. Right. You get me? Let me give you one simple model. In agri, if you go to India, India subsidize their fertilizer through their own manufacturer. By the time they import their urea that is banned in Nigeria, they mix based on the soil texture. You get me? I just wanted, if you are privileged to But this thing will not work in Nigeria because of our dubious way of doing things. Now, in India, fertilizer there is a blended fertilizer. Maybe whether it's 2010, depending on the soil distance. You get me? That they are blending. They have their company that are blending it there. You get me? It's subsidized. If the open market, you get me? If the open market they are selling it at 10,000 naira, you get me? Indian government will now say that we are going to subsidize this. You get me? With 5,000 naira, and we are going to pay the manufacturers the money. The only thing, if you as a farmer go to market, you will only buy the fertilizer at 5,000 naira, which Indian government will complement. But in their own case, you see, we bastardized almost everything in Nigeria, and nobody wanted, you get me, to take like what he said, like the principle of like, okay, this is how this thing should be. Whereas if you come to Nigeria now, you meet an ordinary agro leader, you say you subsidize through them. You get me? So it's the foundation that is faulty in Nigeria, and this foundational faulty, I am telling you this thing even prior to the independence, and we knew this thing is there. People like Awolowo and Zik, or Awolowo to be precise, he saw all those things. He wanted to deviate a little bit from the way these British and what thing doing things, but they know they have them from the northern part of Nigeria. They continue with it like that, and I am telling you, you violate, you do all manner of sort, and nothing move. Go and like I tell you, you see that in the case of India, I'm telling you, go and study it. See, even in Kenya here, all models, we see it, you say this model is good, you go and understudy it, our civil servant.
So I think Nigeria, we're not ready.
I don't agree with that.
Simple,
I don't agree with that. Like it is said that one tree cannot make a forest.
Just quickly. Yeah.
It's not exactly true. One tree can start a forest. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And leadership doesn't. Okay. Are you aware that this lady in Copper's uniform is a leader?
What are we saying?
Every human being is a leader. The question is, what do you do with where you are, with your space? That's where she is. I'm not surprised that the lady in humanitarian did what she did.
It's just because
it's easy to accuse people. And now the challenge of the younger generation. These are old people. They don't look at their own issues. You see, until we get to a level, he said something, and I think I like that one. He said it's a we problem. It's not just government, it's the people. Until the people start doing things properly.
But Mr. Perry, there's this saying that if you the leadership, I mean the head. If the head is sick, the body is going to be sick.
But there's also a saying that says, hey, people deserve the kind of leadership they get. If the people are good, they will have good leaders.
Yes.
You understand?
Because the leader is brought from the people.
Yes. As we're talking now, some people will be brought into government anytime from now. The question is, what will they do when they get there? There was a day when Better Edu was outside there and telling Nigerians how the government was not working right. That's the challenge. That's the issue. So until we get to a level that I said, we must get to a level where we understand the place of human dignity. When the Okada man knows that this other person is important, it's not just about me. When the taxi driver knows that this man is important, when the people selling fuel know these things.
There's subsidy money.
Okay, as we talk, Nigerians are hoarding things. This is the harvest season. Nigerians are buying harvest and hoarding it, hoping that there will be artificial scarcity. They not sell it, and they will make money. And then on Sunday you go to church, on Friday you go to the mosque, and they say you are a religious country. So that's where the issues are. So it's not just the people in government. Bro, but I was telling somebody that if the people have values, it's difficult to do wrong in government.
This value has been bastardized for more than 60 years. And nobody is there to checkmate it. That's what I'm saying. You get me? The value is there and nobody is ever ready.
So I think...
Do you know in every MDA, there is a Safaricom unit.
Are they effective?
Hold it now. Let me explain.
Forget about all these bureaucrats in Nigeria.
Hold it now. Hold it.
These bureaucrats in Nigeria, they are there for their own selfish interest. Everybody knows. Forget about flow. You are talking about. You are talking about bureaucrats that today in Nigeria, if you enter, I had the opportunity to.
Like
you get me? No, it's not allowed.
Okay, once you drop it. Okay, sorry.
Even the bureaucrat you are talking about, this bureaucrat you are talking about, how competent are they?
So
do you know the reason why? Do you know the reason why today in Nigeria, everybody, if you are a graduate, we are wired in Nigeria in a way that everybody wanted you want to join government job. Even though they are paying you 50,000 and you see a private sector that is paying 1,000, you get me?
I think I need to.
So what I'm saying is that you see in Nigeria, I will still tell you that the system has been bastardized.
Okay, it has been bastardized. Quick, just drop a point so we'll wrap up this conversation.
I mentioned the Savicom unit. The average Nigerian does not even understand what Savicom translates to. Service compact delivery. You get what I'm saying? And I once heard it sometime many years ago. That was when Goodluck was there. I said in Norway, before they started the Savicom, they first of all educated the media, and the media went ahead to educate people on the importance of Savicom. Now, if you go to any MDA, ministry, department, or agency, and things are not properly done there, you can petition the Federal Civil Service Commission to look into those things.
So, in a nutshell, what you're saying is, let's carry the responsibility. Let's not blame the government alone. At our own little strata, let's do what the best we can do. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Amen.
Of course, Nigerians always airing their voice as to what is happening in government. We keep talking, and we expect that there should be adherence to the things that we say so that we all can have a better Nigeria.